Well, we're live, everybody, for the first live I've ever done. The process was a little bit weird, getting everything kind of figured out and all that, but we're live. So I just thought, you know what? Let's check in tonight. Let's have a conversation. If there's anybody out there tonight just looking for somewhere to spend a couple of minutes, let's spend some time. We'll see how it turns out. So I'm actually at home right now, and I am making dinner for my wife. She's still at work. She gets off in 15 minutes. Take her another 10 minutes to get home. So I just wanted her to have something nice. That's kind of what we do. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, she works late. So I'm kind of left to hold down the fort. And what you see is kind of how it is. Just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a more intimate side of how I do my, how life in my house works. So I thought I'd start off, before somebody checks in and all that, because I think this will be available, for folks later. Just to kind of start off and talk about how the week is going and how the job is going. It has been really, really good. This past week and a half that I've been at my new job, just been feeling really good, really refreshed and excited. And there are some of you guys who've been kind of tuned into the channel who were giving me advice, because like I said, I was starting to get a little nervous about where the week was headed, where the job was headed. Was I going to be ready? Was I going to do well? Was I going to succeed or fail? And you guys were right. Each and every one of you was right. Things are working out really well right now, sort of fingers crossed. But that's, I think, a lot of life. You go through your ups, you go through your downs. It's not always great. So you've just gotta enjoy those good times while they're here. We've got a really exciting year planned. My wife and I, we're going to be traveling a little bit more than what we would normally do. We're work and family like everybody else. Money's not it's not something that we have a huge amount of. But we're going to be going to Washington, D.C. in May. And then we're going to be going to Florida to see her parents in December for 2 weeks. So I'm really excited about that. I love Florida. Love Florida. It's such a great place. I went when I was about yay big. I went when I was a baby. My mom and dad took me to Disney. So I remembered nothing about it. But then, like I said, I got together with my beautiful wife. Her folks were in the process of moving down there, and now they live down there. So when I was first kind of with my wife, when we first started to get to know each other, she was like, "Oh, it's so great down there. It's so beautiful." And of course, I did what I think a lot of people do. I kind of heard the horror stories of crazy people and all that, and so I was like, well, maybe we'll see. But then after we got engaged, we actually went down there for just a family reunion, like a party, and I absolutely just fell in love with it down there. They live in southern Florida, on the Panhandle side, and yeah, I'm in love with it. It's such a great place to be. What am I doing for dinner for my wife? So my wife actually makes chili. She makes such a great chili, and so I'm actually heating her up some of that. So that's nice and warm and ready for her when she gets home. And then for me, because the weight loss doesn't stop, I'm gonna just leave you right here for a second, and I'll be right back. I have actually prepared a smoothie, a healthy smoothie. Yeah, you can see I got some strawberries, I got some blueberries, and I got some protein powder in there. I freeze mine just so that it lasts a little bit longer. And I'm just gonna blend that up once she's on the way. And so that'll be something real nice for me to have, nice and filling. I'm not really that hungry, so I was gonna go ahead and have chili with her tonight. But I said, you know what? Why not? Let's just go. If you don't have much of an appetite, why eat? So I'm just gonna have like I said, that smoothie, and that should tide me over just fine. Oh boy, I've been thinking about this channel a lot recently, and just even in this 3 months now, just over 3 months now that I've been doing this, and it is just mind blowing how much this channel has grown in such a short amount of time. I've got thousands of views now, and I've got 132 subs. It's a really good feeling. It's great to feel like people want to be a part of your life, to be a part of your journey, and that people have value, place value in what you say. I think a lot of times, at least myself, I can't speak for others, but I think a lot of times folks kind of wonder what's their place in the world, what's their place with, do they have a voice? Do they have, does their opinion matter? That sort of thing. And starting this channel, I certainly had no idea that it was gonna grow the way that it already has done. And it's a really humbling feeling to see that people actually just check in and just want to spend some time with you and just give you advice, take the advice that you have to give. And even if they're just coming in there just for some support, and then they just want to blitz on out again, that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here trying to do. As you can see, I'm not thin, I'm not lean by any means. I'm a big boy, and I still got a lot of fat on me. But starting off January 2nd the way I did, 326.6 pounds. I tried never to forget that 0.6 pound because every ounce matters. But starting my journey at that size, it really did. It really did put a lot of things into perspective. When I look back on some of those first videos that I made, and I look at myself back then, and I look at myself now, I'm like, wow, there's actually a really big difference. And it's actually, you should be proud of yourself. And I think a lot of us don't give ourselves enough credit. I think a lot of us say, oh, well, I like myself, I'm proud of myself. But the truth is, maybe we could all do a better job of that. Maybe we could all just do a better job of checking in with ourselves and working on ourselves and being happy and loving ourselves. We've got this refrigerator right here. It's just off to the side here. We've got all of our goals and our likes and like places we want to go to, places where we've been, and the dreams, if you visualize them and if you put a goal on them, they'll come true. 100% they'll come true. And it might not be an instant, like a flick of a switch, but at some point it'll happen. You just got to work for it. I started the year off in a little bit of debt. Well, a lot of bit of debt for me, just the usual American things, credit card, car payment. And so outside of this channel, I've actually been working really hard, working a lot of overtime to try and get that knocked down, to just give myself and my wife an even better quality of life. This has been a year where I've kind of just had this moment of, who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? And is there something I can do to make it better? And so I like to think that so far, 3 months in, 3 and some change months in, making some really good progress. We're learning lots about ourselves, learning lots about who we are. Myself and my wife, we've only been married for a little over a year now, really. And I like to think that every day I you know, work a little bit harder to get better as a husband, and to work harder to get better as a husband, become a better communicator. And I think that's the best that we should be shooting for in life. How can we be better selves and better for those that we love? I wake up every day and groggy and thinking, I don't want to, I don't want to go to work or whatever. And it's not even like a bad thing because I've got a great job, but I wake up and I think to myself, but then on my way to work, I think to myself, now it's like you work a mile away from your house. You get off at 3:30. You've got all this extra time. You live in such a beautiful place, such a beautiful country, and you gotta sometimes stop and smell the roses. I think we're all a little bit guilty of sometimes just like not watching ourselves and thinking to ourselves, whoa, hey, we got somebody here. Hope you're doing this. Oh, thank you so much. You are actually the first person to watch and to comment on my video. Thank you so much for that. That really means a lot. But yeah, just waking up in this great country, this great place, and just telling myself that you're so fortunate to be where you are. And like I said, I've had somebody just kind of jump on in and say hi. Somebody I've never met, somebody I don't know, but this whole thing, I've heard so many people on this platform, they'll say things like, oh, the YouTube family, and I always kind of laughed a little bit, in all honesty. What do they mean? But then now that I'm doing this, I'm like, dang, this is really addictive. It's like it's hard to express. Like, you get really close to some of the folks that you talk to on here, and there's so many good people out there who just really want to see you succeed. And I love that myself. I've got thunder outside right now. It's a dark day. It's a rainy day. And, but I love it. I love this weather because where I live, it's going to get real hot real fast. And there's going to be days where I'm going to be like, oh, I wish it was rainy or whatever. So I'm loving this weather. And not to mention, I'm actually English. I'm an American, but my mom and dad are English. My sister is English. I'm the first American born in my family. So I grew up in Europe with a lot of that English weather that they're so famous for. So I'm loving this. I love the smell when you walk out the door after rain, and it's just the air smells so clean. It's something to be just to be thankful for, I guess. So this channel, where do I see it going? Where do I see it now? Honestly, I'm just so happy with where we're going. The goal is losing that weight. The goal is to just get a little bit healthier, to get a little bit happier, to just be a better person. And I've talked about this in one of my videos where I talk about the why and how important it is to have that. How you really need to just tell yourself that there is a reason, and that reason is more important than relapsing back into old habits where you'll be having, a Big Mac meal or whatever. You've got to stop before you do it, and you got to say to yourself, is what I'm about to do worth risking the weeks and the months of progress that I've made? For some people, sometimes it is. For some people, sometimes it isn't. And that's the hardest part. That's been the hardest part so far. You'll be driving by and you'll see a McDonald's and there's no line, and you know that you can get a really good fix and it won't cost you much. And so driving by there and saying to yourself, you know what? No, I'm better without it than I am with it. Yeah. Just being on here is kind of funny because I'll sit in front of the camera now. When I first started the channel, I would sit in front of the camera and it would be like this. all the time, where I was like, what do I say? What do I do? But now, like, I'm standing here in front of the live, and it's just like it's the same thing all over again. But it's such a cool thing to be able to like witness and to see, and to just hopefully like talk to some of you guys out there who have just supported and watched the channel. Yeah, so I'm really happy with where I am right now, with the way things are going, and it's such a good feeling to just stand here in front of you guys and step on those scales and say, "Hey, I'm down a pound, or I'm down 2 pounds," and then you guys take the time to comment. It's a feeling that I can't describe. It's a feeling that money, I don't think, could ever replace. Just being able to stand there in front of you guys and say, I'm proud. I'm proud of the work that I've done. I'm proud of the work that you guys put in by putting your faith into watching the videos and stuff. It just really kind of fills my heart, makes me really, really happy. I've got a lot to be grateful for. I keep saying that. But that in particular, I started the year off kind of stopping and looking at myself and saying, is where you're going a good path? Is it sustainable? Is it healthy? Is it going to make you happy in the long run? And then I kind of realized really quickly that it's not, if I keep doing what I was doing, if I keep eating the foods and just basically being a couch potato every day, you know, when my wife and I decide that we want to have kids, that's going to hinder my abilities to be the father that I want to be, or that's going to hinder my abilities to go and fly and see my mom and dad when they get older, and all these things, you know. And I think it took a lot for me to kind of realize, because I think a lot of us are really good at excuses and just telling ourselves, oh, well, we can just put it off. But really, I mean, I kept having that voice, that side of me who loved eating the fast food and wanted to just not change because I was comfortable. Then I had that other side saying, dude, you've gotta do something. So with where I am right now, I need to take my life seriously, and to take that house seriously, because I'm trying to think, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years in the future. Every time I drive by that fast food that I was talking about, you know, and I say no, that's just a win. That's just a check off in that kind of battle that a lot of us fight. One of the hardest things for me is I look at these people who have, you know, quote unquote, already made it. You know, the Sam Suleks in kind of the bodybuilding world. You've got like the David Goggins of the fitness world. Look at these guys and I think, wow, what they do is so incredible. But it's hard for me to relate because I see them now. You know, and I can look back at the pictures of David Goggins. I can say, wow, you know, I can relate to that. But it's so hard to kind of be there in that moment now where he's at his peak, and to think, wow, okay, now I can relate to that. So hopefully just getting on here every day and seeing, hey, I'm still 280 pounds. You know, I'm not down at my goal by any means, but I am better than I was a month ago and 2 months ago. And hopefully for those of you guys that kind of come along for the ride as we go, you guys will also be able to kind of stay related to me, you know, or I can stay relatable to you guys, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But I see we got a viewer watching. Whoever you are, I hope you're having a really good night. I really appreciate you checking in and taking the time to watch. It really, I see a little plus sign, and then I see a little person, so I can see that somebody's watching. Whoever you are, thank you so much for watching, seriously. And yeah, I'm really happy with how we're going. So, hey, saw the little heart. This is such a weird feeling. I've never done this before. So if I'm doing a good job, thank you very much. If I'm not, I apologize, but I appreciate you sticking with me anyway. Where I think I'm going to be having difficulties is I can see myself over these next couple of months. I can see myself starting to have that slowdown of the weight loss. I don't think I'm there yet. Like I said, I'm not getting on the scales until it's video day. So I don't know. I feel like I'm doing good. I feel like I'm eating less. I'm eating the right foods and all that. But I think I know that it's coming. I've read so many people talk about this before. And so I know it's going to come at some point, and I have a feeling it's going to be pretty soon. But right now, I'm just on this high of just every week just being in a pretty good place, at least a better place than I was the week before. And I think that's all we can say. You know, that's the best we can do, is just try and enter a week a little bit better than how we entered the previous one. You know, whether it's, you know, reading a couple more pages on a book, whether it's doing a little bit more exercise, right? It doesn't have to, we don't have to go out there and split the atom or find a cure to a disease. It could just be maybe having a better communication with your significant other, or, you know, saying no to that fast food that I keep talking about, right? It's the little things. It's those little building blocks that over time will form that incredible, you know, that incredible person that you are already, right? So I'm really happy with the way life's going right now. And just to kind of cap it off, I really actually enjoyed doing this. I was kind of nervous. Like I said, I kind of stand here. I'm like, well, what do I say? I don't really plan what I'm saying. So doing this is kind of a different thing for me. But if this is something that you guys might want to see in the future, should I maybe like plan to do these ahead of time and like announce it in my community area? Should I just hop on every now and then? I kind of like just like impromptu hopping on and just seeing where this goes. But just let me know. So I think, you know, with that being said, I don't want to cheat your guys' ear off anymore. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the comment. I appreciate 2 people watching. Thank you guys so much, really. Share the message with your friends. I'm trying to lose weight. Thank you. Please do it. Have a great week, everybody. Really, take care. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.